Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble.
Alright folks, hello and welcome to another video. My name is Leader Grev. Today I'm playing Bastion. Now this isn't live commentary, I'm just not going to be focusing on the gameplay today. I was procrastinating it a bit. I was cleaning my room and I had this weird thought. So I figured I'd record about it. Enjoy the gameplay. I think Bastion, just as a precursor, I think Bastion is a fantastic game. I'm playing the Google Chrome demo right now and I've played the levels that you're about to see multiple times because I just think it's very, very fun. So eventually, I think when I get through my backlog of other games that I have, oops, excuse me, I just burped, whatever, I might pick up Bastion and actually play it, play through the entire thing, buy the game. But for now, here's just some footage, enjoy it, I think it's great. I'm going to try to do the sound leveling so that it works out, so that the voices don't interfere. There's a narrator in the game. Definitely very cool. If you have Google Chrome, even if you don't, check out Bastion. There's a free demo. Absolutely no reason why you shouldn't try it. It's definitely worth the experience, at least. So anyhow, into the actual commentary I'm going to be doing. Right now, I'm sort of procrastinating, cleaning up my room because I couldn't think of anything to do. I have homework, but I was feeling kind of lazy, and I guess, probably some of you can know what I'm talking about. That feeling of being, like, completely gross and, like, a waste. Where you're just sitting and you're doing work, but you're sitting in front of your computer and work isn't getting done, and you're like, ugh, this is so gross. And it usually happens on the weekends, and nothing gets done, and your hands feel dirty, and you're slouching in your seat, and you just feel disgusting. And I had that, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to get away from the computer for a while, which obviously didn't work out, because I'm recording this now. But, yeah, basically, get away from the computer, and I went upstairs to clean up my room, started putting away books, and I realized, you know what, I haven't read in a long time. And as a kid, I used to pride myself in how much I read. Even like up until 11th and 10th grade, I would read through the books that were assigned to me because I had the time to do that. And I would sit through them and I would just do my thing and sit through the entire book. I remember, I think the last book I really did it with was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I sat down, I read through the whole damn thing, and I was like, this is amazing. And I haven't really sat down to read very much recently. And that feels very weird. Because I love books. I love to read, but I don't find time for it. And in a lot of instances, the amount of books you read is equated to how intelligent and sort of like enlightened you are. And it's weird. I feel like... I'm going to be completely honest. I think I'm a pretty smart guy. Just gonna throw that out there. I don't mean that in a bragging way. Just, that's how I feel. But I don't read very much. I just don't have the time for it. And sometimes that sort of, I wonder, like, does one really correspond with the other? And I feel guilty sometimes. I want to look back to those older days when I sat down and I read all the time. And actually, I wear glasses now because as a kid, I would open up the door to my room and I would sit with a little sliver of light that was coming out and I would read books. And my parents actually thought I was afraid of the dark for the longest time. Just recently I told them sort of in passing conversation, they were like, oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. And a lot of these things, a lot of the time I look back and I'm like, gee, when I was a kid, things were so great, so nice. And it's half nostalgia and half like, maybe I should go back to that. Because as a kid, you know what, you're innocent, you're playful, you don't get into arguments with your parents, and the feeling of bad feelings happen much less, and for much smaller reasons, for much less important reasons. So, if you could, just as this is a weird question, but if you could go back to being a kid, would you do it? I mean, there's no work, there's no anything, but I feel like I'm torn, because I feel as I said before, I feel like I'm a pretty smart guy. I have a place in the internet, I do the things that I do and I enjoy them, but I look back when I was a kid and I played and I was imaginative and I had time to do art and draw and read and all of these other amazing things, and now a lot of that time is dominated by schoolwork. And I don't even feel upset about the schoolwork. It's not, I don't even have a problem with it. I just spend my time doing it, and there's no anger or resentment towards this loss of time. And I don't know, should I be more rebellious? Should I be more angry about the amount of work that I have? What do I do? What do I do? Where do I fit? And would it be better to go back to a time where things were sort of simpler? Would you guys do it? Just a weird question. And like, sometimes it's weird because I feel like on one hand adulthood has kind of tainted people, and on the other it's enlightened them. So I look at, I'll bring up two examples. Specifically drinking, and I'm not going to be talking about, I don't support illegal activity, so if you can't drink right now, if you're underage, I don't support that in any way. And when I look at people in my school who drink, excessively usually, it's a lot of people, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I see pictures on Facebook, and I look at these people, and I'm like, you know what, I'm glad I don't do that. I'm glad I don't drink excessively. I'm glad I don't drink at all. And then I look at other people, who will remain unnamed, who are the classiest people in the world. Like, I'll be talking to him or her, and this person will be like, oh yes, I had a German raspberry beer yesterday. It was exquisite. Yes, perfect. And I'll be like, fuck, I want to be like that. That's classy. And so it's like a two-sided coin. Where does one get off, really? That's a weird way to put it. Because I know a lot of people who drink recreationally for the sake of drinking. And I don't understand that. I don't understand how you need to be anesthetized to enjoy life more. That's my personal opinion. And up until recently, I just completely rejected drinking underage drinking as an institution. But my family is European. My parents are both Russian. So I've been offered wine on occasion, or champagne on New Year's. Like maybe once or twice a year I will have a drink. But I know other people who drink quite a bit, but it's because their parents offer it to them, and because it's in a controlled environment, and because it's very classy. And I'm torn between just categorically rejecting it as an institution and just completely just choosing to not drink, or being classy and trying to immerse myself into this adult world. And if I'm immersing myself into this adult world, is there a way back into childhood? This is like two separate tangents of childhood and adultiness, and I felt like it would be appropriate to record it over Bastion because the protagonist is acknowledged as the kid. So I don't know, he's this kid, but he's in a very violent post-apocalyptic world, so not really sure how that all fits in, how that all goes. But anyhow, I want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all of you guys voting for me in King of the Web. Answer some of the questions. Give me your own responses to what I've just talked about. I don't know. This is the first time I've really done some sort of disjointed short commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more of this, just let me know. But I don't know. Just kind of had to get some stuff off my mind. I'm going to go back to doing work probably. But so, like, in conclusion, if you could go back to being a kid, to a simpler time, would you do it? Because I'm not sure. On one hand, I want to read. I want to be like these classier individuals who sit down and read, and who don't immerse themselves in gaming culture, because right now gaming culture doesn't represent itself particularly well. I want to be amongst the crowd that watches art films and reads books and can converse about certain things. I mean, I read. I read all the time, but not... A lot of it is as an assignment, and I do enjoy reading assigned books, and I read Russian books occasionally. But I don't go... It's not a hobby of mine as much as I like to do it, because I like to make YouTube recordings too, and I like being on the internet, and I like doing art. And sometimes books just don't fit into that, so I don't know. It's weird. Do you have something that you like to do and just don't have the time to dedicate to anymore? Do you regret not being able to have the time to dedicate to this pastime of yours? I'm torn, personally, but anyhow, thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate everything that you've done for me with King of the Web. Keep on voting. It's a tight battle between 8th, 9th, and 10th right now. I believe I'm on the losing end of that battle, but Thank you very much for all the support. I've got the second part of Challenge Accepted uploading now. I couldn't upload it all as a long special because the file size was too big. But anyhow, thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.
And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kids gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send them even farther into the wild unknown.